So I've missed a lot. There has been so much information coming out within the last week, possibly 2 weeks, and with my upload schedule looking just like Sleepy Snakes, I haven't been able to keep up with everything. But I want to make one big video right now telling you exactly what is happening in the Japanese version of Grand Summoner so you can get hype when this inevitably comes out to global. But before we get into that, hold on, real quick. Name's OP. How you doing? If you haven't been keeping up with the Japanese side of the game, we are currently in the 9th anniversary of Grand Summoners, which is a huge achievement on its own. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think GS was gonna make it this far, but here we are, 9 years later. It's crazy to think in 1 year we'll be at 10 actual decade of Grand Summoners. But let's not get all emotional here. Let's talk about content coming out and if this anniversary is worthy of even being called an anniversary. So first and foremost, one of the biggest changes that we're seeing here, they are voicing the entire story of GS. We're starting with the first arc. I thought this was originally supposed to just be chapter 1, but no, it is the first arc of the main story. Now, the main story having this first arc, I'm pretty sure that is chapter 1 through 5. I could be wrong about that, but it could just be act 1 or whatever. But I'm really thinking this is chapter 1 through 5, the initial story of GS that we had at the launch of the game. This is only going to be Japanese voice acting, of course. I doubt we'll ever get a English dub in GS considering the amount of characters and everything else we have. But this is cool. Whenever this inevitably comes out, if you want to rewatch those stories and hear Finn and everybody else talk, you can. This is a big one. I'll just play it out for you and you'll be able to instantly tell what it is.
おーびっくり。うわえこれは熱い方なの？熱い方なのかな。えかっこいいロゴだ。行くぞ。これ演出だよね。あみんな来たよ。みんなって言った。みんなってことは？え？
ここは来た。
誰か喋ったぞ。え？声。バシン。あ熱い。お。うわー。かっけえ。ラブシェルムが出てる。またアニメーションや。
As you saw the just regular, I'm assuming 5-star animation, and then now the new Roy animation. I am overall very mixed about this summon change because I think that the best way they could have done it is just do what they're best at, pixel art, right? But the fact that we just rip what we already had from like the GS promotional video, which by the way, this is where these animations are from. These are not brand new or anything of the sort, is kind of strange to me. Also, this right here is an image that shows every possible outcome of a rainbow touch and all that type of stuff. It is currently blurred and they blurred it on purpose to give you a bit more suspense and for you not to exactly know what is what. So if I can, I will try to unblur this image, even if I can get it a little bit sharper so we can maybe translate it to understand what each summon animation is. This is the best that I could do, by the way. I just want to put that in there. I tried. It is clearer. Like this is before, this is after. It's clearer. It's just that this is such a low res image. I can only do so much. And then one of the final big changes we're seeing to the system here is, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a wish list. Yes, sir. You're going to be able to wish for the character that you want and not get them. This wish list is literally just to remind you when a character is releasing in the game. I don't know why this is a thing, because if you're logging into the game, you probably already know what banners are coming out, but I guess this is good for players who are taking a break and they're like, oh, you know, I really want to wait till Ultimate Paladin Roy comes back. Well, I'm just gonna let you know you're not gonna get that notification for years. I kind of wish it was a bit more than this. Like the wish list system was overall like something that was a bit more like, oh, you can actually have a chance to obtain this unit after a certain amount of summons or something like that, compared to what we got. The fact it's just a push notification feature and that's it is a little whatever. Now, I know I said that was the last big system change we got, which it was. That was the last big system one. But another thing that's actually something we need to cover is the brand new Forever Summon in JP, which Global will eventually get this, hopefully. I mean, we may, if they don't do it one-to-one to this is going to be so stupid, but let's not get into that right now. The 9th anniversary Forever Summon is featuring a ton of Ascended characters, including Ultimate Paladin Roy, Star God, BF Emperor, and even Valentine's Priscilla. Some very heavy hitters in this game, some huge W characters for your account, and they're giving them to you practically for free, not entirely, because you do have to go through the Forever Summon, and that can be a bit 50-50, you know? Either way, huge dub. And only thing that I have to say about this is, why did it take so long for this to actually come out? At this point in the game, we should have been had Ascended units in the Forever Summon, even like just one or two. I mean, thankfully now in Global, we are getting, you know, that we're getting like one Ascended character per part, but I really feel like this is long overdue and we should have had Ascended units in the Forever Summon. And then lastly, we can't have an anniversary without a new unit. And the new unit's name is Etika. Rest in peace to one of the YouTube goats. What I can gather, I think Etika is from the Minosaur's High saga. So we still have to get that on Global before, you know, this unit is even possible to be our anniversary character. But she is looking very strong. For one, she's a light spirit. We love light characters, right? She's a light spirit that's able to give a damage barrier on her art. We got art gauge as well on the art. The true art's giving us damage plus more light damage. The super art is allowing us to enter into our own unique mode known as Lord of Feathers. And then whenever it's used for the first time, look at that chat, increase allies arts by 300. Jesus, man. We'll talk about how we can get into 300 art gauge pretty much instantly with her. Two of her passives are tied to her transformation, I guess you would call it. One increases her own art gauge by 8 per second and increases her own heal amount. The second one deals 10,000% light damage every 5 seconds and increases her damage multiplier of this passive by 4 times against non-boss enemies. Pretty much a bit better than like Shiro Emiya's Unlimited Blade Works swords that he throws like every few seconds. And then of course we have the true weapon, which is known as Mina Minas. Increase own light damage by 50%, you reduce the enemy's physical res by 30%, pretty solid. The passive is that we extend the duration of Lord of Feathers. And look at this chat, you increase your own arts by 200 at the start of the quest. Very easy for you to achieve that 300 art gauge. It should not be surprised whenever I say this unit is going to be absolutely busted. In new compositions, you could use her with her true weapon, and then for like her 5-star magic, if you wanted to use something that just buffs up her damage and gives her, you know, some art gauge still, we could use something like Exceeds X, or we could utilize an item that just gives us a ton of art shin instantly. We don't really care about the buff. Something like Rin's outfit, I think that gives like 80. Of course, though, getting an additional 100 art gauge is not hard whatsoever, because once you're in there, she's golden, considering she gives herself 8 arts per second during her transformation. One thing I want to point out about this unit is that she is a spirit, which means that she doesn't directly work with Kenshin and Saitama in them. I mean, she works with Saitama, but not more so Kenshin, right? She makes Kenshin's duration a little bit weaker, so we'll have to see how she fits on the Mono Light team with Kenshin and Saitama. That may not even be a team that we want to run her on if we really look at it. Another thing I want to mention as well is that she has a barrier, and the barrier is good, but did you guys notice that it does not, and I repeat, it does not have any damage mitigation tied to it. There is nothing in the kit that gives her DR. So they're expecting you to use her with some other character that's able to give damage mitigation or a taunt tank to kind of protect the entire team. A little bit weird considering she has a barrier plus healing. Usually it's one or the other, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I think she is a bit better at being like a universal character than just a light unit, even though she does have a lot of light damage buffs in the kit. There's a lot of stuff in here that really benefits a lot of different characters. Doing an art gauge, you know, everybody loves that. Barrier, art shit on the art, and then you got like even more damage on the true art. Overall, pretty solid. The only thing that I might say you want to do, depending on how you want to play this unit, is actually take her to LB7. Since LB7, she does get that 5-star support, so that will pretty much make it to where you can guarantee with one equip, like Axis for an example, she's in her super art right out the gate. So I'm very interested to see how this character plays when she comes out to Global, and if we're actually going to have like a spirit team or a spirit lineup now with her, because I don't know if there is a spirit in the game that gives damage mitigation apart from like Natasha for an example. But we'll have to see if like the spirit team is a legitimate team now with Etika on the scene. You guys let me know if you feel like she's an anniversary character though, or she's kind of just whatever. I really like her design. I think design wise she absolutely screams I'm an anniversary unit. Kit wise I'm still a little bit torn, because the main thing that I'm loving from this kit is just the super art. The fact that we don't have like additional art gen like with the true art or anything else, no overtime art and just bursts. Kind of throwing me a bit for a loop, especially with that art only giving 20, considering we just got Toma, and Toma has like the most loaded art in the entire game, and he gives 25 on his art. So I don't see why we weakened Etika just a bit there in order to not give 25 art gauge, because I don't think it would be that big of a deal, and it would be overall more beneficial than just the 20. Either way though, the 9th anniversary is looking very good on Grand Summoners JP, and let me just say guys, Grand Summoners Global, we should be getting our anniversary announcement relatively soon, probably within the next month or two, and if that happens you can expect it's going to be a crazy time. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been P. Tell me down below what you all think about this anniversary. Do you like it? Do you not? If you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend check out this video right here. It's my brand new tier list video. It took me forever to make. I recorded for 4 hours and talked about every single unit on here. It's more so how to use and just general information about each unit, but I turned it into a tier list because we all know they do better with views. And you click on that right now if you're interested. And I'll meet you over there, but before you leave, don't forget to drink water.